Hey everybody, welcome to the OpenUSD Insiders live stream. We are very excited. This show is GTC. I haven't even unpacked yet. So we're going to cover
Me
something
either.
amazing. I know, right? It's been a whirlwind for over a week now. Not only the conference was just amazing, of course, meeting all these great developers and partners. I met so many great people from the community. It was so great. But also over the past week or so, we've been seeing this amazing amount of attention in the press and media about all the different announcements. So we're going to dedicate this live stream to those who were at GTC and those who couldn't make it. We're going to basically kind of recap some of the major stuff that impacts developers that are in the community. So first, as everybody probably knows, as part of the big announcement, we really leaned in heavily towards sharing about how the NVIDIA Omniverse is expanding its physical AI operating system to more industries and partners. We're transforming companies like Ansys, SAP, and Siemens and how they approach digitalization. We've also seen a major release of Cosmos, World Foundation models, which are revolutionizing synthetic data generation for physical AI. We also introduced Isaac Root N1, the world's first open humanoid robot foundation model, designed to accelerate robot development with generalized reasoning and skills. In addition, we also unveiled an open physical AI dataset to support robotics and autonomous vehicle development, and introduced new Omniverse blueprints for designing smarter AI factories. And of course, as always, OpenUSD is making waves in robotic simulation by providing a unified framework for managing diverse data sources. So today, over the next hour, we're going to be exploring these announcements in more depth with special guests and experts, including some people who are at GTC, 3 of our ambassadors, which is fantastic. We'll be discussing how these technologies are shaping the future of AI, robotics, and simulation. Throughout the hour, we'll also be taking your questions live from the chat, so please feel free to ask anyone. Let us know if you were at GTC or if you attended virtually and what sessions you found really enlightening. We'd love to hear from where you're connecting from also. So join me and my co-host Ashley here as we get started and dive into the exciting world of NVIDIA's latest innovations. Super exciting. So let me see. So we have on the slide right now, we're going to be showing some of these things. We're going to be posting links for some of these things in the chat, rather. Amelia, our amazing producer, has been assembling this content for us over the last several days. So bear with us. We do have a bunch of videos to play within the live stream. Hopefully we'll get the order correct. Okay, but first, the first slide is literally about Kit 107, which was just recently released, which is designed for robotics. It's now available. Ashley, do you want to share anything about this milestone for robotics?
Yeah, it was actually a very big release and it took a lot of effort. So congrats to all the devs for getting that out in time for GTC. I know it was a big lift for them. One of the most major points is the update for Pixar USD. It now supports 24.05, and it's actually going to make it more streamlined for future Pixar USD releases, which is awesome. And it also updated to Python 3.11. So if you wanted to integrate that into your workflow, now you can. There's a lot of changes to the structuring of it in terms of how the events are set up, FSD or Fabric, the rendering improvements. So there's the render 2.0. It's not on by default yet, but it is there for you to play around with and get ready for when it is turned on by default. There's also improvements to the optimizer, the scene optimizer, and the kit app template. One of my most favorite parts of this release is that the developer menu is on by default. So you used to have to launch with the -D command, and that would put you into developer mode. That is just now there. So when you launch, you'll see your developer menu, your extensions, all the features you want to play around with. And there's also application layers. I'm not totally familiar with this. I just started to play around with it today, but it allows you to individually enable or disable streaming configurations instead of relying on the pre-configured layer. So that is really cool and a big step into the kit app template. So highly recommend that you go to the Git repo. It's now integrated with the main branch, clone the repository, and get started.
Amazing. That's such a great overview and super exciting update for all the developers. Amelia is posting links for some of the announcements and news we're sharing in the chat. And our experts will be joining us in just a few minutes. We're just going to cover this from a high level first, and we're going to dive in shortly after. So hang on tight. Okay, so that was fantastic. Thank you, Ashley. The next one we have to go over is our physical AI data set, which basically teaching autonomous robots and vehicles how to interact with the physical world. It actually requires a vast amount of high quality data. So to give researchers and developers a head start, NVIDIA is releasing a massive open source data set for building the next generation of physical AI. So this is huge. I've actually been sharing this with a lot of developers since we got back from GTC, and people are just blown away by the amount of content here. 15 terabytes, which is there it is, 15 terabytes. I can't say more than that. It's insane. 320,000 plus robotics training trajectories and over 1,000 OpenUSD assets. So we highly recommend that people take full advantage of this free data set that's now been released. You can obviously chat with any of the topics we're talking about on our Discord, which is discord.gg/NVIDIA Omniverse. We have a channel there dedicated for GTC, but if anything slots better into one of the other channels, feel free to post there. If you're not sure, just go to the general channel and you can post there and we'll tell you where to go. But that's super exciting. So the link for that is now in the chat. And it's available on Hugging Face. So really cool. I actually, every time I send it to somebody, they're just blown away by the availability of this. Okay, so now we also have, as we mentioned a little earlier briefly, the GR00T N1 model, and we're going to be covering this in more depth with our special guests in a minute. But
I love that they're wearing hats.
Yes. Oh, yes, they are wearing hats. That's true. And actually, so at GTC last week, one of the amazing things was all the robots walking around, right?
I'm so impressed by how well they can walk. It's such a big difference from what we saw at GTC last year. Like, they actually walk and walk well.
It is mind-blowing. Not only the humanoid robotics, but also the very specialized robotics doing just basically repeated motions in factory settings and in non-factory settings. Really wild. So many great pictures and videos. I have a short clip, I think, from one of our great partners that were there, Interactive, and they basically produced a great little short video of their time at GTC. We'll play that little clip right after we're done with these news announcements. But the GR00T N1 is the first of a family of fully customizable models that NVIDIA will pre-train and release to worldwide robotics developers. It's accelerating the transformation of industries challenged by global labor shortages, estimated at more than 50 million people. I heard Jensen say this during the keynote. So this is going to help to really fill that gap. We have more details in a blog post, which Amelia is also posting. And that is also, I think, going to be a Hugging Face link for people. Okay, this is also pretty exciting. New Omniverse Cosmos updates, blueprints and Cosmos transfer. So Ashley, do you want to cover this a little bit, or I actually can give a little high level here too?
I think you might be more familiar with it than me, to be honest.
Okay, so this is brand new, so it's super exciting. So it's a new NVIDIA Omniverse blueprint connected to NVIDIA Cosmos World Foundation models. It's now available basically to enable robot-ready facilities and large-scale SDG for physical AI development. And SDG, of course, stands for synthetic data generation. Cosmos transfer in WFMs ingest structured video inputs such as segmentation maps, depth maps, LiDAR scans, pose estimation maps, and trajectory maps to generate controllable photoreal video outputs. If people are not familiar with what a blueprint is, blueprints are predefined, customizable AI workflows designed to assist developers in creating and deploying generative AI applications. So a lot of great benefits to leveraging blueprints to make your work a lot easier. You don't have to start from scratch. And if you're not familiar with Cosmos, we kind of announced this over at CES not too long ago, and then we dove deeper into this new content at GTC last week. But NVIDIA Cosmos is a platform of state-of-the-art generative world foundation models, or WFMs, advanced tokenizers, guardrails, and an accelerated data processing and curation pipeline. We're going to get more into this with one of our experts in a few minutes, but it's built to power world model training and accelerate physical AI development for autonomous vehicles, otherwise known as AVs, and robots. So we have more details in the blog post we'll put in the chat. And that is going to be also, like I said, a big part of today's conversation. Additionally, we have the Mega Blueprint, MEGA. It's an Omniverse blueprint for testing multi-robot fleets at scale in industrial digital twins. This also garnered a lot of excitement at GTC on the floor. We have more details for those interested in this segment in the live chat. Amelia's posting that for you there. And then finally, I think we have Isaac Groot Blueprint, which we're also going to cover in a few minutes. But the general overview, the NVIDIA Isaac Groot Blueprint for synthetic manipulation motion generation is a reference workflow built on NVIDIA Omniverse and NVIDIA Cosmos. It creates exponentially large amounts of synthetic motion trajectories for robot manipulation from a small number of human demonstrations. So really, really scalable, help you speed up that work. We'll post a link for that in the chat as well. Oh, there's one more slide. I'm sorry. One more slide here. We have Cosmos Transfer. So the Cosmos Transfer will foundation models ingest structured video inputs as segmentation maps, depth maps, LiDAR scans, pose estimation, as I mentioned earlier. This streamlines perception, AI training, and transforming 3D simulations of ground truth created in Omniverse into the photorealistic videos for large-scale controllable synthetic data generation. We have a more deeper dive into that on the blog, and I believe that is our last slide there. So that covers basically the overview of things. I'm going to see if we might have a special guest popping in at one point today. So let me see if they are here yet. Oh yeah, I do see him here.
So I'm going to Frog Manager. He's already here though, so maybe not.
Did Frog Manager just join the team? Is that a recent addition?
He's considering it. He's got to finish counting his pumpkins, and then when he does that, maybe he'll join the team.
Has Frog Manager met our friend Clammy over here? Maybe they would.
I think they would actually get along really well. Perhaps Greer wouldn't appreciate the both of them collaborating because they'll take.
That's true. That's right. She's very possessive over Clammy. Okay. All right. So I think we have a special guest from Agility Robotics. So super exciting. Let me add him to the stage. Chris, how you doing? Chris Paxton. How's it going?
Coolest robot that I've seen on the show floor. Well, not true, because they're all amazing and cool. But I really loved watching him walk around and pick up the grocery store items.
Thanks. Glad you liked it.
Okay, so I think I'm looking at the producer notes here because I have to really give big thanks to Chris for joining in relatively last second. We invited him yesterday. We haven't even done a warm up with Chris, so he's coming in totally cold. Thank goodness your webcam's working and everything. So really glad to have you join us. Now, why don't you introduce yourself and let me know if you would prefer that you kind of cover your stuff at the beginning of the live stream, or you want to do it towards the end, because I see a note here that you might want to do at the end. It's totally up to you.
Oh, we can do it now. Might as well.
Okay,
yeah. So I'm Chris. I actually just joined joined Agility to help be sorry.
Super brave.
Oh, yeah. We can just to help do the AI effort, and so I was involved in this. So I was on the demo floor at GTC for all last week. We put together a robot, and we had it doing this like digit goes shopping kind of exercise, where we had it walk around and pick up a bunch of groceries, and there were groceries that we bought actually Monday morning. So they weren't ones that we'd like trained on before or brought beforehand. So it was all like kind of just to show how adaptable the robot can be. And we were demonstrating our new whole body control policy that we trained in NVIDIA Isaac Lab. So it's all the robot is so it's sim to real trained, and it's all kind of moving these new objects around. And we hope everyone liked the demo.
Amazing. Well, so glad. I know we have a couple of videos here. So anyone watching the live chat, again, thank you. Welcome to the show. Feel free to post your questions or comments in the chat, and we'll try to pull from them as we move along. Okay, so Chris, so again, Chris is from Agility, and as you just mentioned, you're utilizing NVIDIA and Isaac Sim and Lab to train Digit, the most advanced mobile manipulation robot on the market. And the only humanoid autonomous robot actively working in warehouses and factories today, which is pretty exciting. I think we do have a video here. If you'd like me to play it, we've got a few here. So, do you know which video is which? Because I could start with. I have a few of them. One of them is the one that kind of goes into the B-roll, and then we have another 30-second video that looks at GHO and the Spanx facility.
Is there one where him walking around? I think the way that Digit walks is so cool.
Let me see. I have a few. Okay, I have a few kind of going over some gestures and waves. Let me play those. Okay, there we go. There is. That's a reaching. Pretty cool.
It's impressive.
Very, very cool. A very unique way to actually design and move for a robot. You typically don't see that kind of movement. Very cool. So that's reach. We also have the small wave here. Take a look at the small wave.
So cute.
Awesome. And so in case you thought that was too small, they were kind enough to provide a video of a big wave. So here's the big wave. That's a really special person they're waving to. Okay, cool. And then we have the two other videos from your team on, we have some B-roll. So let me see. I think you'll be able to talk over this, Chris, if that works for you. We have this one's 30 seconds. So look at this one first.
Cool. Yeah. So this is the robot doing. This is the robot actually working, right? I believe this is the GXO facility. So this is where our partner is, and or Spanx, whatever it is. So like they're yeah, this is like the current stack, the current robot that's in production right now. So this is like a traditional kind of model-based control, and what we're doing and what we showed at GTC is kind of like what we see is kind of like the future of the way these things are going, which is like so we can do these kind of whole body motions and kind of improve on things using Isaac Lab and make all the behaviors better and nicer and smoother, more resilient, but easier to, yeah.
It's amazing. I feel like, and you guys back me up on this, but I feel like people were generally very surprised at the advances that were made since last year with robotics. I don't think most people, as we can see from the New York Times article and the CNET coverage that we just saw, people were not expecting this level of speed in robotics development as we've seen in the last year or so. And this is a great demonstration of that. I think we had, it was basically a rotating display that was just looping, right, of the robots putting stuff away, walking away. And then we have this other B-roll clip, which I think you should be able to talk over also. Here we go.
Yeah,
walking.
More video of the robot doing real work, I think, moving. So like we have lots of robots that they can work together. Yeah, I think this is what you get with Digit. Like this is the cool advantage of all these humanoids is that they can do so many different things like this, and it's using its whole body, like it's picking up stuff with both hands and carrying it places, and can work anywhere. Yeah.
This is truly amazing. So, you know, this is real stuff for everybody. You can also check out more by going to the Agility website, which is simply agilityrobots.com. We have also a great blog that I think Amelia has posted in the chat. We'll also update the description following the live stream. We have two blogs, actually. I think one that's on the Agility website, another one's on the Nvidia website. But this is the kind of stuff that I think people were very surprised to see that already in full swing. I see, actually, I can see something now, and as a host, I can see some of our guests in the green room here are looking very impressed as well at the video at the same time. I see Mike Wagner here from SyncTwin giving a big thumbs up. We'll talk to Mike in a few minutes. Actually, let me see. I should be able to bring you guys in. I'm going to bring you guys in on voice. So, hey, Michael.
Hey, yeah, very impressive, huh? Really cool.
Yeah, so everyone will see your webcam in a minute, but while we're looking at this video, let me bring you in. And also, here's John Mitchell from BMW. Hey, John.
Hey, how are you?
Two amazing Omniverse ambassadors. And then finally, let me bring in Rafi Nizam, who's also an ambassador for Omniverse. All three of you were at GTC last week. But yeah, what did you think about all the robot content and what you're seeing now on the screen?
Well, I personally think it's very exciting. I haven't seen robots move so fluidly and be so precise with their movements, especially with a range of objects in front of them. It's really exciting to see that level of articulation. Yeah, it's really impressive.
Yeah, and a lot of this has happened just over the last couple of years. So you can, and it's, you know, the progress and the achievements are coming faster and faster and faster. So it'll be really interesting to see where we're at a year from now, at what all these different robotic companies are doing.
Very cool. Okay, so now that was a great video, and I do think people were very impressed and surprised to see that. So now you can see their faces. So there's Rafi from Falcon and Storm. Rafi, you were at GTC producing some fantastic content throughout. John Mitchell from BMW has been working with NVIDIA Omniverse for quite some time with members of our team. You can see some stuff in the background there. No stranger to robotics. And then Michael Wagner from SyncTwin, also Epilogue, Omniverse ambassador, also one of the key people that worked with BMW on the factory. Virtual factory work that was kind of original part of the original announcements when Omniverse first launched. So really a great pleasure to have you here. So Chris, were you at GTC yourself? You just started.
Yeah.
So you were. Okay, great. So what was your impression of what you saw there?
I thought it was really exciting to see so many robots like moving around and doing stuff. Like I thought it was of course always it was fun to see Digit going and working all day. I'm really happy that we got that thing running all week. It was I love seeing the little Disney robots walking around. Those things are just always a joy to see moving. It's a lot of fun, and the new robots from 1X, and just there's a lot of energy. It was really exciting to kind of see how things were going there.
Yeah, I was there as well, and if I compare it to last year, you can really tell, you can recognize the signals of an industry picking up and a growth spurt, because the number of use cases for robotics just exploded this year compared to last year. It's just on the show floor, let alone what was shown on screen. You know, we had examples of use cases in the medical field, in manufacturing, obviously entertainment with the Disney stuff. And even within some of those verticals, we had multiple examples, coupled with the fact that there were lots of great sessions on the underlying tech that trains these robots. It was a really exciting time. It really felt like the growth curve had suddenly spiked just from the number of demonstrations on site. It was very exciting.
It was indeed. And I have a short video from our friends. Let me look at. Well, I have 2 short videos. Here's one of Jensen from the keynote. Let's play this really quick.
AI will go everywhere. The future of software requires capital investment. Now, this is a very big idea. Whereas in the past, we wrote the software and we ran it on computers. In the future, the computer is going to generate the tokens for the software.
Very cool. And it's also giving people a kind of feeling what it was like to be at GTC on the floor. We have this great video that was published by InnoActive, a great team. Had a really fun time with them last week. They produced this clip and released it on their LinkedIn page. And I thought it was really fun and be fun to share for these. So you got a kind of a feeling of what it was like last week.
Este número, Dance.
That was such a blast. Really fun to see everybody. Oh, that's the wrong screen. There you go. Okay. I have to apologize. Whenever my head takes full screen, it's never a good thing. Okay, so Chris, thank you so much for joining us. Really nice to have you. Do you want to leave with any parting words or any last comments or thoughts before we let you go?
Well, thanks for having me on. I mean, not in particular, just I've been in robotics for like 10 years now, and I definitely have to agree with that. What everyone's saying here is like more energy than I've ever seen before. So really excited to see what happens next year. But
well, that was a lot. Thanks to you and your great work. So thank your team for a great GTC and great experience and showing off the amazing work you're doing. One of the things I just love about this entire community is how much openness and sharing is of knowledge. And being able to show the work that you guys showed last week, I think really was inspiring to thousands and thousands of people. GTC was packed, tens of thousands of people, and I think everyone got a chance to look at your work and you inspire them. So I hope everyone out there gets a chance to check out your great website with more links, agilityrobotics.com. And Chris, thank you so much. We'll come back again soon.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. You know what my favorite part of these robots were in general? all of the robots were wearing GTC badges that said approved robot. And some of the roboticists had written their names, like the robot's name on it. I thought that was really cute.
Yes. They are. They're becoming. Yeah, they're becoming very.
They needed their own badge.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
also
it's so funny.
when I was at the floor, just looking beside me, and there was this humanoid robot walking by, going to the elevator, walking.
Yeah. There was one that was stomping behind me, like it makes really large steps, so it stomps really loud. And I turned around, and like the robot was like a foot smaller than me, so like it spooked me, and I kind of like screamed, and it made the engineers laugh. And it was just it's interesting to turn around, and all of a sudden there's a robot coming towards you.
It was so great. And so speaking of which, so we're going to circle back, invite our great friend here, Colin. Hey, Colin, how you doing? Great to see you. Yeah, there you go. Awesome.
Great.
Thank you for joining us today, and congratulations on an amazing GTC. I touched base on the slide a little earlier. Now we're going to circle in and zero in on this. We want to learn about. So we just saw amazing demonstration and live footage from GTC, and also from a real facility where Agility Robotics is. So let's dive into a related topic: Groot and One. Fully customizable models that NVIDIA will pre-train and release to developers. This seems like a huge win for robotics developers worldwide. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about it?
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for having me. Great to see Chris and team talk and kick things off here, Edmund, and happy to share some of the stuff that we launched in the exciting week last week. So to zero in on this announcement particularly, so we announced Isaac Groot and One, which is an open cross-embodiment multi-model model, right? So what does that mean? So developers can get started today. The model weights are available. It's on Hugging Face for folks to go download and experience it. Matter of fact, there were a few hackathons that were happening in conjunction to GTC, and I've seen already people using it. So that brings me great joy. So I really encourage folks to go check out the model, the data sets, and detailed instructions in Hugging Face and GitHub. I want to just go a little deeper into how we came about this model, right? This model, the unique part of this is the testament of our data strategy, right? So how did we get to this model? So we trained the model on an expansive, data set of humanoid information, humanoid data, and we fondly call the data strategy, the recipe, a pyramid, a data pyramid. What that is for LLMs, most of the viewers know, for LLMs, we have a lot of internet scale data, which is useful right away to be used as the input, as the training data. But for robotics, we have a unique challenge where the data also should have the physical details. How are we interacting? And that's where the strategy that our teams have put together shines. So going back to this analogy of the data pyramid, so we have three types of data, right? So the internet scale data, which is abundantly available, but lacks that physical information that touch the videos on YouTube and so on and so forth. We use that as the base. So quite a lot of internet scale data. And on top of that, this is where I think we add a lot of value. We added the synthetic data that was generated from the components of Omniverse and Cosmos, and that forms the middle layer of the pyramid. And at the top is the real captured data, the teleoperated and so on and so forth. And we combine this data in unique ways to accelerate the performance of the model. So I'll give you an example. with the blueprint that I mentioned, which we used to generate the synthetic data, we were able to generate, over 750,000 trajectories,
Wow.
trajectories of motion, synthetic trajectories, which would have taken 6,500 hours. to put it in context, it's 9 months of human demonstration data, and we did it in 11 hours. Not just that particular data, when used to train the model, the performance increased by 40%, which is amazing. And I think that's the key thing that I want folks to take away from here. I'll also talk about it we have a little bit on the blueprint, but that's what is the core of the model, how we achieved it, and so on and so forth. The last thing that I want to leave with is this model. It is not a static thing that exists, right? It can be post-trained. So if you bring your own data, you can make it adaptable to new embodiments, new tasks, new things that it can do, and new environments. So right now, I think you've seen the videos, you've seen those two great robots do a lot of manipulation tasks, right? They can handle an object, they can use both of their arms to, it's called bimanual coordination, right? Passing things on. And they can also do long horizon tasks, which are, multi-step things, right? But if you bring in your own data, you can have the model do more things for you. So that's the adaptability that we bring to the table. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to share on the model. Please go check it out. The model with open weights is available on Hugging Face. The detailed instructions are on GitHub. So yeah, and thank you everyone, for a great GTC. And I think I can share. Let's do.
Yeah, let's watch. I was sorry. I didn't mean to play right away, but I wanted to leave with showing everybody. So what are we going to be looking at here?
Yeah. So this one you will see. Those two robots which are running the model. They're able to do a lot of manipulation tasks, right? So specifically, like I said, picking up objects. Using both arms to move things around and working, to do a little more complex tasks, which is steps involving each of these. So this video should, give a good idea of what we share.
Okay, let's take a look. Let me see. I can't tell if there's audio on it yet.
NVIDIA Isaac GR00T is a platform of sim-ready data, simulation frameworks, and synthetic data generation blueprints, and pre-trained models. NVIDIA Isaac GR00T N1 is an open generalist foundation model for humanoid robots. GR00T N1 features a dual system architecture for thinking fast and slow, inspired by principles of human cognitive processing. The slow thinking system lets the robot perceive and reason about its environment and instructions, and plan the right actions to take. The fast thinking system translates the plan into precise and continuous robot actions. While internet-scale training data provides common sense and reasoning, it doesn't teach robots specific actions or control. So we need better data, and more of it. Human demonstration data is limited by the number of hours in a day. With GR00T blueprints for synthetic data generation built on NVIDIA Omniverse and Cosmos, we can exponentially multiply a small number of real-world data captures into a massive, diverse training dataset. GR00T N1's generalization lets robots manipulate common objects with ease and execute multi-step sequences collaboratively. Across many environments, and even multiple embodiments. And with synthetic data generation and reinforcement learning, humanoid robot developers can post-train Groot N1 for their specific robot and task. The age of generalist robots is here, driven by developers building on NVIDIA Isaac Groot.
Awesome. Apologize for that lag there. Sometimes when we play a video back, this one was a little big, that'll happen. But
I was getting ready to talk.
I know. But I think if that video exists online yet, we'll post a link in the chat. We'll also put in the description. If not, I'm sure we're going to be posted on a YouTube channel soon so people can check it out. But that was a good summary from the man himself, Jensen, explaining what Colleen just went through in more detail. So, Colleen, that's great. Is there anything we may have left out, or what would be any next steps that you want to share with developers just to leave?
I have a question too, if you don't mind answering it.
Yeah, sure.
So I recently learned that this is built on the new physics engine, Newton. Is there more that you can tell us about it? I'm really curious, like what's so different about it?
Yeah. So Newton is our open source initiative, right? So this that we've worked with, Google DeepMind and a few other folks. That work is in progress, so we will see the benefits of that coming through soon. But the main thing that we should take away is the Newton is going to be complementary to some of the work that has been gone into the N1 model. It'll help the open source community with the frameworks that we are using for robot learning and accelerate some of those. So that work that we announced with Disney and Google DeepMind, that is going to add into some of the work that we are done. But we're super excited. I think, Ashley, to your point, one thing I do want to mention here is, and I think Edmar touched a little bit on it as well, is robotics by definition is cross-disciplinary. It takes a village. It takes a community to do it. So we are really excited about Newton, specifically being an open source platform. The second thing is with LayRobo, the data sets that we are releasing, or the data sets that N1 has been trained on, they're compatible with LayRobo dataset. So the point being that we want to double down on the community for the folks to build on top of it, right? So our goal is to build the platform, and folks can build on it, build models, use the blueprint to train their own models, and so on and so forth. So yeah, thank you for that
Very
question.
cool.
I think that helped, really
Yeah,
to make the point around open source and community. Yeah.
Super helpful and super exciting. I cannot wait to see what people do with this. Colleen, I look forward to your next appearance on our live stream, which I'm sure is never too far around the corner. Thank you for joining us today. It was great to see you, and thanks for sharing this great information.
Thanks so much.
Very cool. Okay, so now we are going to have our next guest, my good friend Josh. Let me make space for him here. There he is. Hey, Josh, how you doing?
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely.
This is pretty exciting. So we went over this briefly in the beginning when we just did a quick kind of preview. But yeah, blueprints and Cosmos. So first introduce yourself. People who don't remember your last amazing appearance on a live stream. Maybe they missed that episode and they should go back and watch it. But for those who didn't catch it, tell us a little about yourself and your role here at NVIDIA.
Yeah, it was definitely an epic experience. Thanks so much for inviting me both then and now. I must not have screwed it up if you're having me back. So thank you. Yeah, I'm a product manager here at NVIDIA, working on the Cosmos platform, and in particular the foundation models.
Okay, great, awesome. So these foundation models obviously are probably new to some people because they just kind of were starting to talk about at CES with the announcement of Cosmos. So super exciting to see this quick evolution. It has CES not even that long ago from what we see now at GTC. So let's dive into a little bit what we announced specifically at GTC last week. What can you tell us, Josh? And I know you brought over some great videos here.
Oh, totally. Yeah. So Cosmos foundation models can be split up into three primary categories. We have our Cosmos Predict line of models. These are multimodal models that can take on a variety of inputs such as image, video, text, and using these inputs can condition future predicted results. So you'll receive back in these inferences, which is another way of asking the AI model to generate something new for you, predicted video. So say you provided a text instruction, a text prompt, and a 9 frame video clip. Cosmos Predict can then take those 9 clips, condition itself upon them with your text prompt, and predict future frames. So like the next 24 frames, for example. And so by distinction, we also have our Cosmos Transfer line of models, and these are more of a video to video transfer function, where based upon you'll get exactly back what you submit in your input. So if you give it a 121 frame video of some very synthetic looking data, such as what you see here on this splash screen we have with we call it shaded segmentation or candy. Cosmos Transfer can take that input video and be conditioned upon your text prompt. So I want to see a luxury airy kitchen with a robot performing this function. And Cosmos can make the jump, transfer or transform that input to photoreal, and you'll get exactly the same number of frames back that you submitted.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's a really cool visual style too that we're showing off here, which I think is also contained in these videos you shared.
Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, it's a fun shader. We crafted that on my team. It's basically you can think of it as instanced segmentation or regional segmentation, where it takes basically a combination of a position of the 3D geometry in a scene, and it applies a random hue on it. And there's a specific reason that we do this, which maybe you could play the I think
the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Okay, here we go. Let me see if I got this right.
And so yeah, here basically because we've sort of color blocked out the masses, the regions in this video. And we've also applied a subtle sort of ambient occlusion or glue illumination effect to the scene, and these properties of the render really help detect canny edges, which is essentially what we're doing with this Cosmos Transfer model. And canny edges, you can think of it as just a simple black and white sketch, where black is just sort of internal or external shapes, all defined by white outlines like a sketch.
Wow.
And so having that information be segmented like this really helps the model perform that function quite well.
Very cool. And then we have this the follow-up video to this one. I think it's a similar scene, right?
And so here's a result of that style transfer or data transfer function, where we've taken the jump from our highly synthetic data to our photoreal data. And I think maybe there's an associated clip where you can kind of see the one-to-one relationship there. If not, we can skip to the next one.
Let me see the video set. I think I have it. This might not be it, but let me see.
Oh, this will be the next one.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's just another example, but in that case, we actually applied the robot arm in a 3-dimensional space. We just quickly blocked this out and threw our instanced shader on it. And again, we pass that to Cosmos Transfer, where it detects canny edges, and then you can see the result in the inference.
Very cool. And then I see another video here. Is this the next one? The fisheye shaded?
Oh yeah, it was another example showing a different point of view.
Okay.
And there should be some associated inference videos like that share the same name. It may say out with the same name. And here you can kind of see, based upon that input that we've discussed quite a bit just now, you can have these novel views, and we're just freely changing the context of the environment. So we've jumped from this luxury kitchen to this sort of style of a kitchen. and in the other video we showed a warehouse, and all of that is just simply done just by just adding some instructions in the text prompt. So
That's
super
wild.
powerful, very wild.
So cool. Mhm.
Very wild. Let me see. I see this other one. This is a top-down view. I guess it's,
Yeah, and that's just that's just showing how leveraging your ground truth simulation data with Omniverse, you can render out many different camera perspectives. They could be ego, which is to mean like sensors that are actually on the embodied AI, or they could be any number of fisheye cameras, or surveillance type camera perspectives, or your typical creative camera shoot perspectives. And then and again, you can inference these many worlds, these many scenarios of this sort of multiverse, as we jokingly refer to it.
That's great. And so where's the so we're posting some links in the chat for resources on this. But can you walk people through how they would get started? What would you suggest for steps, people who are kind of learning about this? Maybe they missed your last live stream.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the beauty of the Cosmos platform is that we release everything on Hugging Face and GitHub, and everything is available in these open source public repos. And with the links that we provide, you can easily access them. We're super engaged, and we love to see the conversation unfold in the forums. So definitely ask questions there. We seriously look at those every day, and we really want to help that community thrive. So yeah, take a look. All the documentation, access to the checkpoints, the weights, everything should be there that you need.
Cool. Well, I've been negligent in some of the comments because we've been trying to cover so much data, but I do see something before I let you go from the Robotics Club. They're asking, does it have synthetic fog and fire scenes?
Synthetic fire scenes. So in terms of Cosmos, Cosmos has been trained upon the world. And so Cosmos understands the contexts of fog and fire scenarios, and you could easily pull down the checkpoints and test the performance there with specific use cases of what you may have in mind. Such as like it could be aerial, ground, aerial like fire surveillance. Looking over with the drone. It could be scenarios similar to what you may have seen on the news. I think all of that could be tested under a variety of conditions. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Josh. Is there anything else we may have left out before you go?
No, I just want to echo what was being said earlier. It's just so exciting to be on the GDC show floor and feel that energy and see all the innovations and the continued trajectory of this industry. It couldn't be more exciting to watch. All the different robots were really exciting. And I want to say, watching the agility robot, had the strength of will not to play with that pink bubble wrap, which I would have completely fallen victim to that. So I think that speaks a lot to its determination.
They programmed some serious discipline into that
Yes.
humanoid robotic. I agree. There was just so much energy. You've heard this referenced multiple times if you've been following the media, but GTC is now being called the Super Bowl of AI, which is really exciting annual event where NVIDIA and partners can show off the latest and greatest and give people the tools to be able to carry that forward in their own work. So really exciting, great energy. Josh, I'm so glad. I'm sorry I missed you last week myself personally, but at least I get to see you on the live stream.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us, man. Until next time, really appreciate it. And we'll move on to the Mega Blueprint next. So for the Mega Blueprint, we're going to let our friend Josh go here. And waiting in the wings, we have another good friend of mine, Richard Yartlett. Richard, you're down on camera.
Yes.
You're live.
I'm live. Yes. How's it going?
How you doing, man? And actually, let me bring back Rafi. I'm sorry. Let me bring Rafi back here because he's there. Okay, cool. Rafi, thank you for coming back in. Let me see. So yeah, I think we're going to cover now something called Mega Blueprint, which is an amazing name, very powerful and strong because it is. So Richard, we went over it quickly in the preview of the live stream earlier, explained that it's an Omniverse blueprint for testing multi-robot fleets at scale for industrial digital twins, which actually John and Michael here are both very familiar with. And you actually, Richard, you did some work on this for GTC, didn't you, in terms of the visualization?
I actually did a little bit more with the Cosmos, but I did demo this on the floor. So if you came to the show, we try to split up the schedule, to cover all the assets that we have on the floor. And this was one of those that I demoed. So if you was there, I'd probably give you a quick overview of it.
Yeah, and I see. Yeah. Look at this. You got a comment right here, right off the bat.
Yep, Eric was there.
Eric Kraft,
hey, Eric.
Ambassador. Hey, Eric, great to see you here. And another one here, Scott Dempsey saying, Richard.
Yeah, it was we met a lot of the people. We had a developers breakfast, and a lot of the people on this chat were there, and we were all there together to, hobnob, as we say in England, and talk about amazing things with Omniverse.
Very cool. Okay, so let me see. I want to see. So you have a video actually that I think you provided.
Yeah, if you run that mega_1, I think.
All right, let me see. I see a mega_cut. Is that it?
Yes, that'll do. That'll do.
Okay, here we go. Let me make sure it's the right one.
So I'm just going to talk over this. So, yeah, just as they say, I'll let this loop along. So this is an example of a very large-scale simulation, hence the name Mega. And we are here simulating not just one robot. We've got that going pretty well. Now we're doing 2, 3, 4, even 15, 20 robots. And it's all about having a huge simulation of a massive factory. Everything's running together. These are what we call AMRs. These are the little robots that aren't necessarily humanoid. And this is an example of a mega factory. And this is where we train everything in our brand new Isaac lab. And this is where we combine all these robots together. So we could have manipulators, we could have AMRs, which is the wheeled vehicles. Now we've got humanoid vehicles. And the idea is that can we simulate not just one, but all of these things working together in the factory? And not just those, but also humans as well, because, humans can get in the way. And so we have to make sure that we have a safety consideration and we have a logistics situation, and everything goes together in what we call the mega blueprint. And blueprints, by the way, are the idea that you can go to build.com, buildnvidia.com and play with these. But this is our latest and greatest if you are looking to build a giant factory of robots. This is a funny clip. We'll leave this here for a second. So this is where the agility robot is training itself. And you can see actually we've got some AMRs moving, got a human in the background. And they are literally learning to work and walk together. You can see this in the upper middle there. You've got an AMR and an agility, and they're trying not to bump into each other. And this is what it's all about. It's about robots learning to play with robots and work well together and not get themselves into trouble.
Yeah, that's wild. And John, you've actually been seeing some of this work kind of firsthand at BMW, right?
Well, this was my main target. So Mega was at the top of my list. Not that meeting all of you wasn't, but
we're a close second.
Yeah. Mega is something I've been chasing, and I sat through a couple of the sessions, and I just so happened to be sitting in front of a gentleman who turned out to be the CEO from Keon, and he was, he was great. He was offering up all kind of suggestions and support in the future. But this is, like I said, this is that topic that based on everything that happens in our manufacturing facility with, all of our autonomous vehicles, human operated fork trucks and tuggers and autonomous all of that, and the safety, being able to simulate that sim to real is something that I want in a bad way. So this was a great experience.
That's awesome. And Mike, you've also worked directly with BMW actually on the virtual factory all the way in the beginning when Digital Twin was oh no.
He didn't do that much. He didn't. Michael was key. Michael was key to the first Omniverse product that we put out from BMW. He's the one that came in with his EPOLOG solution, and we were able to bring all of that that line side planning logistics data into. But he did a great job. You can see it in his background there, some of it.
Yeah, so I'm curious, Michael. So since you kind of got in super early on digital twins, and a real digital twin with a lot of data and sensors, and now we're seeing a relatively fast evolution to incorporate robotics. How has it been from you? Do you think so? It seems fast to me. Does it seem fast?
Yeah,
to you? No.
super fast.
Yeah.
So really, to see just the step from last year to this year, the development and everything coming together, I think that's really awesome. Also, what I liked, they open sourced QOP, the GPU accelerated solver, which also came into place early on, and I think that's a really good asset to use, right, for path planning and all that.
Yeah, I bumped into Miles Macklin, who leads the Warp team here, and that was super exciting as well. So for those who are interested in leveraging Warp, we have a Warp channel dedicated on a Discord server where Miles and the team are pretty active. So I highly encourage if Warp is something you're interested in checking out as well. So Michael, what was your takeaway looking at some of these announcements from GTC? You traveled a long way to get there.
Yeah, but it was worth it. It was really, really great to get all the input and also to meet the community. I think you did a great job to bring everybody together and have a good time. So apart from all the input, that was also a good takeaway. And just as I said, to see every bigger company who started with Omniverse and using OpenUSD, advancing and bringing to do the next step basically and bring this in operation. I think that was good to see. If, for example, Mercedes did a great step in my point of view, and I think just to see the development and the size, as you said, mega is just huge, right? So and to see this happening, that's great.
Yeah, it seems very fast. There's been a lot of great press, as I mentioned earlier. But one of the stories I really enjoyed seeing also was from Unilever, and how Unilever is leveraging generative AI, which we're really not diving into incredibly right now. But it's a really great story. We'll post a link in the chat because I think the other thing I've been seeing since I got back from GTC is a lot of developers, a lot of companies also that have been closely watching the space. And being kind of blown away. But they didn't know that things were this far ahead. They want to they need to catch up. So I've been sharing stories from about Unilever's use case and others about how this is in full swing, about people leveraging generative AI in their work with real proof. These aren't proof of concepts. These are actual real world use cases happening across industries today. So
all these other industries like AAC and as you said, Unilever, apart from the automotive. So yeah, I thought that was an aspect as well.
Yeah, pretty exciting. All right, and Rafi, you actually conducted. I'm going to bring. So I see Colleen is still here, so I'm going to bring him back in because I may have dismissed him too early before, and that is my bad. But here, hey Colleen, how you doing? Let me take the slide away for a second.
I'm good.
We can see everybody. Okay, cool. So let me see. Is that the whole gang here? Yes. Okay. So a couple things. One, Rafi, you got to come to GTC this year again, which was amazing because what I loved about your attendance here, able to really summarize a lot of GTC, especially focused on OpenUSD, which is a story last year. It's funny, last year I felt like people were asking about what OpenUSD is, and that's old news. Everybody's using OpenUSD now, literally 12 months later. And last year a lot of people were asking about, hey, what's a digital twin? That's also old news now, I think, and people are like now in the full evolution of it. So Rafi, I think you did such a great job last year. Again, I got to catch some of your stuff from this year because I was there running around, but I did bump into you and your team doing some interviews. It looked like you had a great time and captured some amazing insights from people. What can you share about your experience last week?
Well, yeah, thanks, Edmar. I think on the topic that we've been discussing, physical AI, I had a great conversation with Aaron Luke about how OpenUSD and Omniverse is kind of like the ideal environment to bring in AI training of, the digital twin of your robot and then deploying it to the robot. That, I don't think there's any other 3D format. That's what USD was compared to last year. It was being compared to traditional legacy formats like FBX and all of those. None of this capability is baked into, formats like, or platforms like OpenUSD or Omniverse anywhere else. It's only baked into those technologies. So I think, yeah, you're right. The awareness has now shifted. It's not just a file format. It is an environment for, simulation and for much more dynamic exchange of 3D data. And now this year, the meaningful use of generative AI and agentic AI into physical manifestations like robots. So it's really come a long way, the awareness and the use of the format. So I spoke to Aaron Luke about that. And I also met Akil Docker from, in fact, he is part of the robotics, very focused on robotics at NVIDIA. And we had a great conversation right outside the robotics stand on the show floor. And he explained, some of the building blocks that go into this, from, the containers, for example, and how containers are used to manage some of these data sets that are relevant to robot training. That kind of demystified a lot of that process for me. And all of that is linked to Omniverse and USD.
Yeah, and so you were brought there with Scan Computers, correct?
That's right. Yeah. So Scan Computers is a partner of NVIDIA's, one of the elite partners in NVIDIA's sort of partner ecosystem, and they're the only, I believe, the only UK distributor of NVIDIA's core technologies like the servers and the DGX and all those sorts of platforms and those GPUs. They're a key partner for that. And they came out with me last year, produced the interviews. My colleague Gemma from Scan shot the interviews last year and this year. And we're kind of like a lean team that really cover a lot of ground. I think we interviewed about 12 different people from lots of different departments in NVIDIA, covering as many topics as we could. And we also interviewed several people from, partners and companies associated with NVIDIA. So it was an exciting week full of great conversations. And those interviews will be out soon on the Scan AI Solutions YouTube channel. Probably next week or the week after. We'll stagger them out, and we'll be sure to share it with the community.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I'm a big fan of Gemma. So Gemma, hello, great to see you last week if you're watching. And so we'll post a link for that channel in the chat. I'll see if Amelia can dig it up really quick, so we can post it there. But also, I should note that if a lot of these different announcements and if you want to always keep up to date, you should definitely follow the NVIDIA Omniverse channel. Check out Rafi's channel, Scan's channel, for these great interviews coming up. The NVIDIA also has they had a running blog last week, and I know we're way over time now. And it was I don't know what we were thinking, trying to think we can jam all this into an hour. I take full responsibility, so I'm sorry. We might have skipped a couple of things. We'll see if we can circle back really quick. But I just want to mention, so sometimes it could be difficult to keep up with everything. So NVIDIA did a great blog link last week, so you can scroll through that link and do every announcement as it happened. It's really great to watch. I mentioned a couple great stories over the news. If you do search for NVIDIA GTC, you'll see some of those pop up. I invite everyone to follow me on LinkedIn. What I try to do is when I see something that I think would interest the community, I'll usually repost it there. So feel free to follow me on LinkedIn. And that is another way to get a hold of Rafi's content also, because I always repost his stuff when I see it. Ashley also has a very active LinkedIn page. Highly recommend you follow Ashley. Mine is easy to get to. You can just go to edmar.net and it'll actually bring you to my LinkedIn page. Ashley, I don't know if you want to give your link.
I am not as cool as you. The easiest thing to do is search my name, Ashley Goldstein, and then add Nvidia at the end of it. I'm literally the only one. It's me and a photo of my dog, but I'll post the link too.
So those are good ways to kind of keep up with some of these news and announcements. And obviously, Colleen and our team is also on LinkedIn. I know John Mitchell is, and I see him post a lot. Rafi, you're a great poster. Michael's also written some great posts on LinkedIn, also on Medium. Richard, I don't know. Do you post that much on LinkedIn?
I used to, but I have to say, I'm curious. I just went to edmar.net, and I can confirm very cleverly it goes directly to his LinkedIn page.
That's super easy.
So I need to do that.
Good luck.
Smart.
I'm always on the Discord. So I mean, if you want to get hold of me, I don't have time for every channel in the world. So it's Discord or it's the forums. And if you can't find me there, I'm probably not around.
You're very active on Discord, very helpful. Your Omniverse kit tutorial, I think everyone raves about that because it gets people up and running so quickly, myself included. And if you can get me up and running, because I'm not a technical first guy, I'm story and character and creative first. You got me up and running, so kudos to you. And also today you win the award for the best lit camera feed out of all of us. Look at you.
That's true.
He's showing off his new windows that he got.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got new windows. Yeah, but no, you have to have good windows in Florida. I can tell you that. But thank you. No, and actually, speaking of the video, I'm glad it helps the community. It's a simple process, but like anything, you don't know what you don't know. So the video just there to say, look, it's very simple, but it really, I'm a video guy. Some people are very visual learning. And if I get like a set of instructions, it's okay, but the video is always there to guide you. And actually, we just released the 107, like I said, and we've got very exciting things coming. And so if it needs updating, I'll give it a slight update, but it should get you up and running.
Okay, I'm going to post right now. Thank you, Richard. I'm going to put, Rafi, I got your link right now for your videos that are coming out. Those great interviews, so people should see that. Ashley, I'm going to put your LinkedIn link here. So there's another good resource I should mention for all the developers who are watching this, who are interested in getting more into robotics. Maybe it's something you're just diving into. There's an absolutely amazing free resource. We're calling the Learning Path. We have these are free self-paced courses. We have one series focused on OpenUSD, which is continually being added to. Now we have one that we just recently released called Robotics. So I put that in the chat a few minutes ago. We'll add to the video description. If you missed that, just do a search for Learning Path Robotics or Learning Path OpenUSD. These are free resources that can ramp up any developer, no matter what your skill level, to the fundamentals, to the very advanced topics on each. So I highly recommend, if you're interested in diving into OpenUSD and or robotics, check out those learning paths. Obviously, NVIDIA also has the NVIDIA On Demand website. NVIDIA On Demand is where you'll see a lot of the sessions from past GTCs and other events that are there for other people to watch. A bonus, if you attended GTC last week, either in person or virtually, which was free actually if you're virtual, you have instant access to all those sessions. I think they might be online right now, actually. I think it takes 48, 72 hours. I haven't checked today, but that all those sessions from GTC are now available if you took that step to register, like we asked you to when we had the last stream a couple weeks ago. If you followed our advice, you're good to go. If you did not follow advice, you actually have to wait for a little while to get this GTC sessions on NVIDIA On Demand, but they're coming. But typically, there's definitely a nice window where registered people have nice access. The other great resource is, I should mention, for learning, is the DLI website, Deep Learning Institute. We had great workshops and certificates and training sessions that happened last week at GTC. Ashley, actually, over here to my other side here, she was actually instrumental in one of those. How did your workshop go?
If I would unmute myself first, new move. It went really well. It was super packed. There were some technical difficulties for some reason only on my side, but everyone else in the room was able to create their application, run their Comfy UI server, and access the Edify 360 NIM. So we had a lot of awesome feedback on the coolness of creating customized scenes without touching their hero asset. And I even heard there was 2 VIPs in the room that I just learned about. So I won't name names, but I was very happy to hear about that. So a lot of really cool things going on at GTC, and I'm so glad that I was able to present there.
That's awesome. Yeah, it was great. I mean, it was packed. I think that was the other learning we saw, is that it was so crowded because it was just, sold out basically, including, so you had to show up, if you're, for next GTC, good guidance, if there's a session, a lab you want to go to, make sure you show up there early or are registered if required.
I made that mistake a few times. So for people who did attend in person but couldn't get into a session, did they have access to recordings?
So with the DLI ones, there aren't any recordings for it, but these will be accessible on the platform later on. But with the sessions, many of them were recorded. So if you registered on the GTC website, you can go back in your session catalog and find the one that you missed, and it'll say replay on it.
Yeah, perfect. Wonderful.
Yeah, I didn't get to go to a lot of sessions either, especially as an NVIDIA, and I didn't want to steal seats. So I wanted to make sure all of you guys could get in. So I'm going to go back on my free days tomorrow and Friday and watch a bunch of the sessions. There's so much cool stuff.
Yeah. I always try to sneak in. I always sit there and like dug down. And then somebody says,
hide in
Richard,
the corner.
Get out. Because as you saw, the lines were out the door, which is always great, right?
Yeah. I wanted to also quickly mention another great resource, because I saw him post a meeting on the chat, so great reminder. He was actually in joints today, but he's a little under the weather. But we have a great member of the community. Lychee AI is what he goes by on our Discord server. He has been producing some amazing, absolutely amazing learning content for Isaac Sim and Isaac Lab. And so much so, actually, that he's collaborated with another team, and they're actually putting together a community kind of sourced learning hub for robotics. And I think it's called Lychee AI Hub. Let me look for the link in 1 second. I'll put it in the chat. But I highly recommend there. He's actually been super helpful to people on Discord. And we recently just announced, well, we didn't announce it yet, actually, but it's on the webpage. I'll pre-announce it here, but he's one of our newest ambassadors. Along with John Mitchell, who's here with us, a newest ambassador for Omniverse. Really exciting. We have a few others I want to give a good announcement to, so we'll save it so I can talk about them more in detail. But really fantastic content from Lychee AI. There's some good comments right there flowing through. Again, one of the main advantages of joining Discord is you can interact with all these community members that are leveraging this tech today, troubleshoot, post your suggestions, ideas, share your project. We have a show and tell. We're actually having a lot of people use the job board there. Not only if you're looking for a job with Omniverse, you have Omniverse development skills, or if you're a company and you're looking for Omniverse developers or any kind of robotics background people, it's a great place to post. Kalia, did I, because I know we skipped around a little bit today, and did I forget anything that we wanted to kind of go over with the community?
No, I think I think we covered everything. I think 2 things I wanted to hit upon were, the N1 model and the blueprint. So we got to cover it. And
great. I
think, I encourage everybody to give it a shot. I see quite a lot of projects already popping up.
Yeah, it's crazy. So you, I know hackathons is something we're not really doing officially yet here, right, but we're definitely big fans of hackathons, no doubt about it. And we would love to help promote if you're doing a hackathon, we would love to help promote it and share. And sometimes come, Colleen, you actually just attended a hackathon. You said it earlier in the chat. You went to one on Saturday.
Yeah. So this particular hackathon, I mean, it was done alongside Seed and folks who had worked there. I think the key for me, exciting thing for me was, the community was in full force, and they were folks were using the N1 model already, so which was heartening for me. And actually, some of our community members were there helping. I think Dustin Franklin, who many of you know, he was there. He was helping. So I just wanted to mention that as well. So.
I was listening to everything. I'm on the other screen. So I'm trying to upload some pictures. I heard everything you said. Yeah. So if you are involved in robotics in any kind of hackathon, I should say, please let us know. Depending on the tech you're leveraging, it's possible that NVIDIA representative might be in the area and able to come. We're always interested in supporting whoever we can with knowledge and resources. So definitely let us know. And I think in the future, we'll probably be more actively involved ourselves. That hopefully news to come. I was actually just looking also for Lychee AI's hub. So Lychee, since I don't have the link in front of me right now for the hub, just do a search for Lychee AI on YouTube. It will come up, and the spelling is L-Y-C. Let me see, here it is. Do a search for this, that name, and you will find his YouTube page. And then from there, I think he's linking to his hub. My apologies there. And then otherwise, we'll post it in the description for after the video. Okay, so while we have these very special guests here, it is the John Mitchell indeed. Yes,
people have problems.
I just have to say how amazing it was. So I know we're way over here, but I want to also just put a little exclamation point down this part of GTC, and this was touched on by a few people here. One of the huge benefits of a conference like this is the ability to actually meet in person with some of not only developers from different teams you may be working with, other partners, other companies, NVIDIAns. It is just there's really, I've seen so many companies develop collaborations that really got sped up tremendously by having these in-person meetings. And it really does a lot to nurture the relationship and develop things for set the stage for months and years to come. I highly recommend. And that being said, I know that it's that challenge. Not everyone can afford to come to a conference like this, depending on where you live. So we understand that too. So we are always looking for ways to better support virtual, including with virtual meeting support. So we're looking into that for next time. That was something that was my feedback from GTC, that I wish we had better support for virtual attendees to meet with each other. So anyway, if you were at GTC, you have any suggestions about your experience there, this is a great time to give it to us while we're planning for the next one. I want to thank everybody here in the audience and actually joining in the panel here for joining us today. Does anyone have any closing words? Any comments? Any parting words of wisdom?
I just want to say that's a great handle.
XR Pavilion.
Oh yes, you just got those. Actually, you should talk about those really quick because that was fun.
Yeah. I went to the XR Pavilion, which is like so fun because you just get to touch everything, and I love touching things. Got made into an AI character. Got to play around with like a drawing application that changes your little stick drawing into this really beautiful picture. And then I got sucked into buying some XR streaming classes. So shout out Veacher. Super cool. I like attach them to my phone and I can watch videos, and they're really fun. I love them a lot. I love XR technology. Big fan of anything you can strap to your face and interact with. So XR Pavilion was amazing. And I would love to see some of that in a virtual representation. Like, how can we support the XR Pavilion to virtual attendees? So I'm going to pinpoint that because I feel like that was a huge highlight and a nice little break from the bigger part of the conference.
Definitely. Yeah. It was a highlight for me. I loved the XR Pavilion. I've worked in XR for many years, and it was so great to see compelling combinations of AI and XR already in the demos there, and also looking at comfy UI configurations that are addressing some of the common issues with generative AI image generation workflows, right? Things like consistency and quality and all those sorts of things, or even like the drawing something really rough and generating a more refined visual. That was a really good demo. You drew on a tablet, and in real time, it was generating images just running on a single GPU on a workstation. That's a pretty compelling proposition for creators that want to use that workflow.
Yeah,
it was an exciting room.
Could agree more. Okay, I just found Lychee's hub, so I put that in the link in the chat. So finally there. Okay, so now this might look really bad actually. There it is. There's the link. But but I put together some pictures that I snapped from GTC last week to give everybody an idea of some of the people that were there. I have to apologize in advance for two things. Number one, I did it really quick right before a live stream, so I didn't have time to do a higher quality on the res. Number two, my head is in a lot of these pictures, and I didn't have time to edit them out a little bit. So I apologize for so many viewings of my face and this little reel. But we're going to say goodbye now and wish everybody a great rest of the week. We'll close out with this. If you want to hang out, look at the pictures, you can. Otherwise, you can disconnect right now. The live stream will be available for everybody on our YouTube channels. You can watch. Thank you so much for all the great contributions to people on the panel and people in the community to this very fast evolving and fun and exciting area of development and this great journey. So thank you all. It was great to have everybody here.